We should do like an a cappella cover.
No, we should.
Boo, 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 ba, boo, 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 ba, boo,
Boo-wop,
boo,
boop-a-doo-wop.
ba,
1,
boo.
2, 3.
Well, she sneaks around the world from Kiev to Carolina. She's a sticky fingered filcher from Berlin down to Belize. Take it for a ride on a slow boat to China. Tell me
where
in the world is
Carmen Sandiego.
Hey!
ALPHANUMERIC! I do some of my best surfing in the web.
I thought you had somewhere else to be.
Enzo Matrix, you've changed more than I thought. What would Dot, fine woman would she be, think of her brother behaving in such a churlish manner?
Call me Matrix.
Hey, bits for brains! How many CPUs does it take to catch one sprite?
These Guardian bootlickers want me deleted too.
Well, blow me down.
Does he ever smile?
If he does, run very fast.
Greetings and welcome, beautiful humans, to this episode of Alphanumeric, a reboot podcast where a bunch of 90s kids get together to discuss every episode of the series Reboot from Season 1 to Season 4. I am one of your hosts, LadyGlitch, and today I am joined by three awesome guardians, the ones that you all know and love from previous episodes.
Hello, everyone. I am Christopher Siege.
I am the other host, AP Sniddler.
And I am the otherist host, NeoCal.
And this week on Alphanumeric, we're going to be talking about the 11th?
Is it
11th,
it's the 11th episode of Season 3.
11th episode of Season 3, Web Riders of the Storm. It originally aired on October 29th, 1997.
Yep.
Something about that date kind of rings out in my head, but I can't quite place what it is exactly, so I'm just going to move on. Before we get started talking about the episode, though, we have a special announcement to make. You may have noticed that the intro was done by someone who has guest hosted on this show before. And as far as I'm aware, she's Miss LadyGlitch is going to be joining the show for the remainder of the series.
Welcome. Welcome.
Thanks. It's the best birthday present I could have, so yay.
Oh, yeah. Your
Somebody's birthday is very
birthday,
soon.
too.
Very soon. Yeah.
Yeah, my birthday is probably going to be the same day you publish this, so it's the 19th. So,
Oh, shit.
shit's right.
Aging indeed. As we all are.
What's that?
I said, as we all are. Aging
Oh my
indeed.
God. Yep. But we're still youthful at heart, so.
Yep. And we stay youthful by talking about 25-year-old cartoons.
Damn
That's
right.
right.
It's literally the elixir of life.
Yeah. It was the best of times. It was the most radical
Worst
of
of times.
The blurst of times.
Uh-oh, we're losing her. Look what you did, NeoCal. Look what you did.
My job here is done.
It's like nobody takes my hosting gig. Yeah.
Nothing can stop the grimace.
Are you okay? You okay?
My throat burns. This sucks.
Oh no.
Was it the Simpsons reference?
It was the way that you fed it back. It was just funny.
There's a scene in The Simpsons.
So good.
I don't know why, but Simpsons scenes like stick with you for decades, even if you've never watched an episode.
It's so iconic.
And I think it's Mr. Burns has like a huge factory full of monkeys on typewriters.
Yep. Trying to write the greatest novel ever written.
I think I've seen a GIF of that.
Yeah, and he goes up to one of the typewriters and he rips off the page and he's like, "It was the best of times. It was the blurst of times." And he like, crumples it and throws it at him.
So good.
Well, I'm as someone who knows nothing about The Simpsons, I'm glad to have you guys here and explain that to me.
Absolutely, it's what we're here for.
You're welcome.
Welcome to Reboot, where we talk about The Simpsons.
We have a Simpsons
and everything else.
We have a Simpsons podcast where we talk about Reboot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Coming soon to Lasercomb.
Mhm.
Web Riders of
No.
the Storm. I tried to wear my web themed apparel today. Does it look spooky and psychedelic?
It's pretty cool. I like it. Yeah.
I'm just wearing a Young Bucks Cease and Desist Bullet Club t-shirt.
There you go.
Yeah, has nothing to do with anything.
I see Lady
Christina's
Glitch.
I just like AEW.
Lady Glitch is wearing a web themed outfit as well.
Yeah, nice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Purple, favorite
I'll
color.
jump on
Purple.
this. I'm wearing my logo today. So
It looks like a jumping bean.
it's a skanking bean. It's
That's your logo?
yeah. Yeah, that's for my screen printing. Which
See, after you stood up, I realized he was doing the
he was
skank.
doing the skank. Yeah. Any ska fans that are watching, he's skanking. Yeah. He dudes.
Yeah, Sniddler was.
Christopher's like, "What are you talking about?"
I don't know if you've ever brought it up on the show before, the show proper, but Sniddler, you're in bands, yes?
Yeah,
You were talking about that in the outtake.
Yeah, I'm in a couple of bands. I play punk rock and ska in a band called Heroes of Canton, which is a Firefly reference if anyone wants to dig that deep. And I play in a reggae band called Phonosonics, if anybody wants to look it up.
Yeah, go check that out.
There's a fly in here. Yeah, we have fun.
There's a fly in my soup.
There's a fly in my face.
There's a snake
in my soup.
What in tarnation?
There's a quick strike in my suit.
There's a quick strike in.
How did we not make that joke?
In my foot.
Yeah. How did we not make that? Anyways, Web Riders of the Storm, folks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Placement.
Yeah. Who wants to take it away?
We're in liquid space, folks.
Liquid
Liquid
space.
space.
Once again.
Liquid space.
We see
Liquid
this
space?
Saucy Mare is like coated in dead web creature parts.
Mhm.
It looks pretty badass. I really like how it looks. And it's words not coming. Help me out here.
Capacitor, ray tracer, and
There you go.
Enzo. Look at that, folks.
LadyGlitch has
audio listeners, LadyGlitch actually has like a Captain Capacitor with the web version of the Saucy Mare, and
Pretty
it's
cool.
looks legit. Looks rad.
Yeah.
It's pretty legit, and actually, in printing, the skull and crossbones that's on Capacitor's hat is upside down.
What, really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you have a rarity.
Well,
There
I think
was-
that's how it was throughout all of the printing for this particular piece. So
When there was when Sniddler commissioned the Guardian artwork of us three.
Yeah.
I almost wish that the skull on the toque that I'm wearing was
What's the skull? Oh, that would have been awesome.
was capacitors.
See, I didn't think about that at the time.
I wonder. They probably have the original file. I wonder if
I could
if I
ask.
could ask them and be
I could
like,
ask
"Hey, would it be too much trouble to change that to like the
There you
capacitors
go.
skull?"
Pretty sweet.
Well, we've
You know
also
what's
got
funny?
we've
Oh,
also
go
got to
ahead.
add one the one and only Lady Glitch to that art too.
Yeah, we're gonna have to modify that slightly.
I
Aw.
wonder because modifying art is easier for an artist than creating new stuff.
I will get a hold of Barnaby and
I love her.
get that figured out. Yep.
Aw.
And then
Thank you.
we could
Is
add
this
Lady.
an episode of like surprises you guys keep throwing at me?
We could add
Because-
Lady
Hey,
Glitch.
it's your birthday.
Christopher can have his leg fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my it's great art, and I have even inserted it into some recent episodes of the podcast on YouTube. But my only issue with it is I don't like what my legs are doing because I'm kind of like leaning on. It looks like I'm leaning on nothing.
Mhm.
Leaning on an invisible wall, man. Use your imagination.
The edge of a GameCube. Yeah.
I also would never stand that way. But anyway.
What's actually funny about that piece of art is that Sniddler showed it to me before he showed it to you guys. And like made me swear on blood not to tell you guys about it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, yeah.
Some insider trading going on here.
Insider trading of what's the crypto for art called again, Sniddler?
NFTs.
NFTs, yeah.
Insider
NFT trading.
Yeah.
Crypto. Okay, I just gotta
Which is,
say,
by the way,
crypto
that's
is becoming
crashing
the
hard.
new Metal Gear reference for this fucking show.
You're welcome. Yeah.
NFTs are crashing pretty fucking hard though, and I don't think they're ever.
They were popular for like 3 days, and then it's like.
Well, people got in, made money by reselling it, and anyone that made money and then got out, I respect.
Glitch is also into crypto, so it's like 3 against 1 now. Here we go.
Yeah.
Hey, I just think I just like my dog themed coins. What can I say?
Actually, I can weigh in on this a little bit now. A wrestler that I'm very fond of in AEW, MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman. He's a amazing heel. Like the guy is like the biggest like douche.
Stays in character like all the
like
time.
100% of the time, even on social media. Like he'll straight up just like shit talk like fans on Twitter and stuff like that. It's great. I love him. But he's actually launched his own crypto called MJF coin, and I was actually considering like throwing like $5 at it.
What? So the whole thing about crypto and Doge and all that stupid stuff is back when it was worthless and a meme, I did just throw $5 at it.
Yeah.
But that ended up being 3,800 coins at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's worth substantially more now for some reason. But I've never put more. Like whatever happens to it happens to it.
Pretty much, it's just fun money.
I think for like $5, I can get like 9 MJF coins.
Maybe I should get in on these MJF coins. Why not, right?
Yes, and speaking of the profits of crypto, we do talk about that a little bit in this episode-ish.
Yes.
Or the lack thereof.
Amazing segue.
Yes. That was,
props.
I was going to say anything. That was organic. That was good.
Our 3 characters here on the episode, they're talking about these riders, these bad guys, and if they're going to attack and whatever. Ray Tracer, I can't remember if it's now or a bit later, but he's like, I've never run into
I've been doing this
like
for years,
before.
and I've never seen these creatures or whatever.
And Capacitor's attitude is kind of like, well, if it's a fight they want, it's a fight they'll
It's a very pirate-esque type of attitude.
Yahar!
I didn't realize how much smaller Mr. Christopher is to Captain Capacitor here.
Maybe Capacitor
like, for the
grew
most
a couple
part,
of inches in the web.
What the heck? For the most part, anyone who's been watching the show, 0 and 1 binomes have about the same mass.
Yeah.
Right?
Gavin's always been bigger than a typical 1 binome.
The 0 binomes are wide, but not as tall, and the 1 binomes are thinner, but taller. Right. But in the scene right here, Capacitor is like many times bigger than Mr. Christopher, which is a little 0 binome. And I think Mr. Christopher is supposed to be smaller than a normal binome too, so the size difference is exaggerated.
Well, look at Princess Mongo is a 1 binome. Look at how big she is.
Good point. She's bigger than Matrix.
Yeah, she's bigger than Matrix. So there are exceptions to it. But yeah, Gavin tells as they're like having their little discussion, Gavin tells Matrix to go visit AndrAIa because she's not doing well. And so he does, and Princess Mongo is like no.
That Enzo music's playing. Yeah.
Not looking good.
Yeah.
And
Chris gets all sad, and it makes me sad.
And
dogs are sad. Makes me sad.
It makes me sad when Frisket is sad specifically because he is a good boy.
He is the bestest boy.
He's a good Doge.
So Ray Tracer, like,
he deserves his own coin.
Yes.
Frisk coin.
Frisk coin. Frisket currency.
There we go. Let's just make let's make our own cryptocurrency.
Brisket coin.
Yeah.
Like everyone else is doing it, why not us?
Get the like 12 people on Twitter who like ReBoot to invest in it.
Why doesn't Lasercomb do laser?
There's literally a dozen of us.
Laser coin. There you go.
Why don't we do laser coin? Yeah.
Oh, laser coin. And the symbol can be that old Dragon Ball Z picture of Cell firing his laser.
Yes.
I've been thinking lately that I gotta come up with like a proper logo for Lasercomb.
You should.
I'm a firing my laser. You remember that dumb meme?
Vaguely, yeah.
It's Cell from Dragon Ball Z, but has a cartoonic dumb face where his eyes are just simple and round, and his mouth is like huge. And it was a 4chan meme. It says, "I'm a fire in my laser."
Oh,
and then a blue beam is just coming out of his mouth. Memes used to be different, kids.
Yep. They really did.
What 9,000 indeed.
Indeed.
And speaking of 9,000, Ray Tracer comes into the cabin, and Enzo basically he tells Enzo that basically they can bring her energy up, but the problem is that she's missing code.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So anything is a temporary fix.
Yeah.
Or just prolongs the inevitable.
Yeah.
Unless they catch that web creature that stole some of her coding.
Right.
And Enzo gets all aggro with Ray Tracer because of course he does. Being like, oh, well, can't you do something? Like, isn't the web your digital domain?
I thought this was your digital domain.
And it's quite clear that
you can do?
Ray Tracer is very calm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When dealing with him, he knows that Matrix is kind of like mostly bark, and just some bite, right? But he genuinely does care about AndrAIa.
Well, and in this situation in particular, too, like Enzo's just lashing out because he's emotionally distraught over the condition AndrAIa is in. So,
and I think Ray Tracer
let
knows
AndrAIa
that.
be deleted.
Well, it's interesting. I think I saw somebody's notes here, but Princess. Dang it! Now I keep calling her Mongo. What?
Lula.
Lula. Thank you. Says no fight here.
I will never call her anything but Princess Mongo.
And sorry, yeah, you were saying Ray Tracer says. Go ahead.
No sweat, princess. Everything is online.
Yeah, I like the little dumb jargon, but I like that. No stress, princess. Everything's online, which is interesting because Matrix was just manhandling him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, he knows Matrix enough that he's just lashing out.
Here's a light bulb that just popped in my head with that scene with Matrix throttling Tracer. When they first entered the web, Matrix did not respect the fact that obviously this is Ray's digital domain, and now we're in this scene, and he's like, well, isn't there something that you can do? And he finally recognizes that, like, Ray knows what he's doing. Maybe he does know something that we can do.
At desperate times, you got to acknowledge it. And, yeah.
No matter how much you don't want to.
Yeah, well, also, you get to the point where you start blaming others.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's had every spectrum. He's been angry, and now because he feels like AndrAIa is in this situation because of him and others. And now he's the other way around, and he's gone back to angry. But if this is your domain, then you should be able to figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah. But Ray does understand the frustration, but the fight isn't with him. It's whatever better. So you still have to take the fight outside.
Your fight ain't with me, mate.
Nope. And then Matrix
whoever drove those beastie away.
And then Matrix looks away while Ray is saying this. And he's like, Matrix knows fully right, or full out that Tracer's
Really
right.
well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's I kind of jive with Matrix because like I understand that frustration of knowing that you're the problem, but it's hard. You can't admit that because you don't have anyone you could be vulnerable
Right.
around,
Yeah.
or you have to front, or you don't have friends that you can be like that. Like my
Mhm.
young adult was all about like taking jabs at other people and defending my own emotions, right? So I feel like his appeal to like, you know, like 16 to 20-year-olds is very
It's like he wants to aggravate people just to see what kind of rise they'll get out of them.
I feel like I was like that when I was 17, 18 is what I'm trying to say.
I thoroughly enjoyed doing that with my family, and sometimes it ended well, other times it definitely did not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Quite a shitlord indeed.
Captain Shitlord right here.
Yeah, I was like that when I was younger too.
And you still are.
I've mellowed out a lot.
Shamelessly, and you still are.
It's like, wow.
How about Sniddler? Were you ever?
Drink it in, man. Drink it in.
There have been times I've been in a mood, but I'd never intentionally. Well, I'd rarely intentionally go around pushing each other's gaslighting, as we call it today. I would get.
That's different.
I would.
No, that's different.
That's different.
Yeah.
Well, still though, like I would never intentionally.
Abuse.
I would never intentionally like go around like just trying to stir the pot.
Gaslighting is convincing someone else that they're the problem, even though you know that it's you who's the problem.
Or convincing you of something that's not true.
Or that.
Yeah.
You're exaggerating. This is different.
This is just antagonizing.
Right.
Poking the bee's nest.
Okay. I got those two mixed up. Sorry. But no, I wouldn't. I was kind of. Yeah.
You're a good boy.
I wasn't great. I don't think I did it as often.
I only did it to friends that gloated. I only wanted to tear down the friends that.
I had a bad habit of going after the pompous. Yeah, I would.
Now, being proud and gloating is different, and like bragging.
Yeah.
But you know the guys, like they're constantly like puffing their own chests and gloating and bragging, and it's just the desire to disagree and take them down a notch. Grows and grows to the point where you just start. Not that it's healthy on your part, but you just start like trying to take them down a notch. And those are also the people that tend not to really give other people a compliment or acknowledge other people's accomplishments. And those are the people that would bug me the most. Because they gloat about themselves because they're probably insecure and they feel like they're not getting compliments from other people, so they have to give it to themselves. But they also want to tear down when other people are like that. And I had so many friends like that.
I was totally like that when I was younger. And it came.
So was I, except I grew up.
It very much came from a place of just being ultimately like being really down on myself and being really insecure. So I countered that by basically being like an arrogant, like self-absorbed prick.
And then somehow I was surrounded by people that were like that too. Just tore each other down and trying to gloat themselves, and I didn't even realize I had settled into a friend circle. And then I think the most people change is the second puberty.
It's like right after you hit your
you hit
quarter life crisis in your mid-20s. That things start to do another.
Some people never go through that, and it's.
Some people never go through that.
Shows.
Though. Yeah.
Well, and me, like I really like started like examining myself and growing as a person when I met my current partner. We've been together for almost 7 years now. Holy shit. But yeah, it was when I met her.
Sometimes you need somebody to call your shit out.
Yeah, and also just like
Have any shit.
just present you with new ideas in a way, and because you're very fond of that person, you end up becoming much more receptive to things that certain ideas or attitudes that you wouldn't have necessarily like bought into before when you were so full of yourself.
Yeah,
you grow.
Yeah.
And so that's what this little discussion, it's not just us ranting. It's why I like this episode. We're seeing Matrix figure this metamorphosis out in himself.
Right. Yeah, because it's going to lead into his next piece of dialogue.
Yeah. And it's in a later scene, but eventually, or maybe it's not as later as I thought, he eventually blames himself for...
No, it's right now. Yeah.
Oh, with Frisket, right.
Yeah, because they sit down next to AndrAIa and he looks at her like this is all my fault.
Yeah.
Like he
I hadn't
finally
been so jealous.
Yeah, he has that moment of clarity that he reviews everything in his brain and he's like, this is all my fault. If I hadn't have been so jealous, I would have been there to protect you. Now I could lose you forever. And now he's finally facing the gravity of the situation like a man instead of a child or a man-child.
Pettiness doesn't... When you hindsight, right? He's like, wow, like all of this jealousy like didn't help you. And I don't agree with the whole like blaming himself thing entirely, right? AndrAIa's gonna go touch the fucking face hugger eventually, right? I mean, if you're not smart enough to stay away from like an alien fucking pod,
right,
then you're gonna get grabbed by it eventually. But the whole hindsight, like, oh, jealousy is not helping me, is the takeaway I have from that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of all that if they're gone?
Yeah.
So I like that. Like he's as a kid, I don't remember Matrix being emotional. I remember he had being a badass. He had a golden eye. He had a gun. He punched people in the face. Right. So I'm enjoying this as an adult and appreciating it for different reasons.
He had a golden eye. He played as Odd Job with proximity mines.
You piece of shit.
Fucking proximity mines in GoldenEye 64. The dopest shit. Fucking loved proximity mines.
I hated them.
I was a proximity mine asshole.
You play License to Kill, right? And Slappers Only. That no other.
Right. It's like Gordon Freeman with the crowbar.
Oh my god! How could he attack so fast? Oh, the power armor he was in.
Yeah. Oh god!
Didn't even recreate moving that fast. It was because of his armor.
Yeah. Avasti scurvy C drives.
I love
that.
that.
Computer speak again.
I love it. Never heard that one before. I think.
Yeah, I think that one.
Captain Capacitor, sir, I'm a little concerned, sir.
And what be your problem now?
One of the crew members' name is Mr. Norton.
Yo,
Mr. Norton, yeah.
Is that the one that gets sucked out and killed?
Yeah.
Later,
I think so. Yeah.
I think he just gets. Yeah, I think he just gets hit with something.
No, he gets sucked out of the hole.
There's one person, I don't know if that's him or someone else. Someone gets saved by Matrix. Someone gets sucked out of the hole and is gone.
It's Mr. Andrews that gets saved by Matrix. Norton gets sucked out of the hole.
Okay, that's right.
Norton's the red shirt.
Norton doesn't get brought back in?
No, Norton does get brought back in, but you really have to look for it. I didn't notice this until I watched it yesterday. It's like, oh, he did get brought back in.
Okay, so one of the riders must have grabbed him.
Yeah, we'll see that when we get to that scene a little later.
I was worried that people actually died on this show.
Right.
This is a children's program, damn it. I think I just found the episode art for this particular episode. It's when Mr. Christopher goes up to Captain Capacitor and mentions that he's a little concerned, and Capacitor is like this.
with his eyes just
That's a
fucking-
good one. I'm on that right now.
Yeah, I think I'll
isn't-
make
yeah.
that the
So-
art for this episode.
The summary is Mr. Christopher is worried because this voyage is not providing them a single bite of profit.
Fucking bean counter. It's an insult to the name Christopher.
Aye, lad, perhaps so. Yeah, it's fucking. There be other reasons to set sail besides profit. And when he says this,
Everyone's
just
like,
like,
what?
What?
all the pirates on the ship.
Mr. Christopher drops his tablet.
Yeah.
I like that record scratch. And everybody stares at capacitor, and he like looks left and right,
And
worried,
he's kind of like,
I'm gonna have to come up with something.
Yeah.
An
Paying a
inspirational.
debt to a friend.
Sometimes doing the right thing, lads, is more than all the booty a swab could carry. Be I
Yeah.
making myself clear, lad?
Yeah, he like
Yes.
leans in close to Christopher, Mr. Christopher,
Mhm.
almost like it's an idle threat. Am I making myself clear, lad? He says under his breath.
Mhm.
I think so.
I think so, sir. But why am I here? I'm just an accountant.
How am I supposed to enter that into the ledger?
I have no beans to count.
Which is funny as hell when you if you're going for like cheesy comedy because like that's
I
how
like
do
that.
write that down.
How am I
Yeah.
supposed to put good deeds into the ledger?
Bean counter through and through.
This is the only life I know.
He's got one job and he can't do it right now because they ain't making any money.
Nope.
Take some time off, Mr. Christopher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Swab some decks.
Go for a swim in the web.
Carry some booty.
Speaking of decks and booties,
Oh.
What are you getting at there?
Mongo is on the scene.
Below deck, Enzo is sitting next to AndrAIa, and it looks like he's gonna like set up some like energy transfusion type thing.
This huge machine that essentially is almost like a taking blood from him or energy and
Yeah.
sharing
It's
it
the
with
plasma
AndrAIa.
machine I go to like every week. It's great.
Yeah. It's in you to give.
Yeah. And honestly, the way Matrix feels throughout the rest of this episode after doing this energy transfer sometimes happens to me when I donate. Because shit goes wrong.
Are you drinking juice and eating cookies?
With plasma, you don't necessarily do the juice and cookies unless it's your first appointment and they have to take blood out of you to begin with, and then they give you juice and cookies. But you get a saline bag that comes after you get all the plasma out of you, then it gets returned, and then you get saline thrown into you. But sometimes when they're doing the stick, they overshoot, and it goes right through your veins. And then they try to do it on the other arm, and the same thing happens, and then you're walking around with bruises up and down your arms for like 2 weeks.
I remember you telling me about that. Oh my
That
god,
was-
that sounds so
delicious
goddamn painful.
It was painful. I still got paid, though. So I can put that in my ledger.
I'm sure they were. Oh, you got right. That's a thing there. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's a thing here.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not a thing, no.
We can't sell our bodily fluids like you guys can. That's a weird American thing.
Yeah, like right now we've got a huge plasma shortage down here, so they're trying to get everybody that they can in, and they're paying really good dollars. So
Canadians are nice, I guess.
See, I think it's weird that we can't. I'm all like,
yeah.
I'm like, yes, by all means, like, pay me for.
Do you know how much money I would have given all the bodily fluids I can donate?
yeah, you would have a
Be like
lot. But you can only do plasma up to twice in a 7-day period, so it's not like you can do it every day.
The fact you can give it that much is surprising.
Yep.
Yes.
But that's just the medium with which the blood vessels, blood cells are carried in, right?
Mhm.
So they're not actually removing like a lot of cells, right?
Right, because it goes through a centrifuge and it separates the plasma and the blood. So the blood gets returned back to you, and then they just keep the plasma in this really long cylindrical tube.
Looks
You
so
get the blood
satisfied. What was that? You just
get my blood back.
Yeah, you get your blood back.
Yeah, that's why the downtime isn't as bad as if you were to donate blood.
Energon, yes. Raw, natural energon.
This
I knew it
is
was
the
here.
I can see.
Zabula drops this machine down beside Enzo and goes, "Might hurt." No, it goes, "Might work."
Yeah, she says might work.
And then she says might hurt.
And then she says, "Yeah, might hurt."
Yeah, and Enzo's like, "You think I care? Just do it.
Just throw the switch.
Throw the switch.
Throw the switch, Igor."
Throws the switch. I like how he's within reach to press the. It's just a button, by the way, not a switch.
Yeah.
It's
He's
right
right
beside
there.
them. He can easily press it himself, but he's like, just throw the switch, and she's like, okay, and then leans down and presses it anyway.
Uh-huh.
Just little things you only notice when you're like combing over the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is actually kind of cool when it turns on. The icons all start spinning and it starts pumping. Basically,
They need some energy shakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They need some cool
Suck
shakes.
it to my veins.
They need cookies and juice.
They need slow food fast.
They need one of those energy shakes with the cool shades.
Yeah,
Like I said, the cool shake.
the tall, cool
Cool
one on
shake.
track 1. Yeah.
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 That runs away and goes and lives its life. I imagine that one right now
Bounces
has
out
like,
the
you know,
door.
it's got kid shakes somewhere. They're out on a shake farm. Right? He's in a rocking chair, like living his golden years out.
Uh,
I don't-
That's that's Cal's reboot fanfic for the week.
that's a spin-off. That's a spin-off right there.
No, not even a whole spin-off. That's just
A short.
know, a short, if you
A
will.
short spin-off.
I'm sure someone on Reboot Twitter would really want to see that spinoff made.
I'm gonna draw it. That's what I'll do.
We say that so much.
Well, I can draw a cup with
That's
with
fair. That's
glasses
easy.
and a straw.
Hey, Cone Killer
Sitting on a-
Confuser,
Yeah,
you know what to do.
You know what to do, bud.
The cool
Draw
shake in a
draw
rocking chair.
Draw the tall, cool one with his family.
We believe in you.
So what's happening? The web surfer like goes
Yeah,
out.
speaking
explores
of
it.
tall and cool, we're back out in the
I
web
love
now.
this scene. I like this scene.
He gets
Okay.
chased back. I
Yeah.
think.
Another good
Yep.
segue.
He goes out to see if he can find the beastie. He goes, but he's also like kind of keeping his guard up because there's these other web riders, these other creatures that are out there that I guess live with the whales.
The
or
riders
whatever.
of the storm.
Maybe they're like nomads that like, much like oxen or whatever, they kind of like go along with the herd and.
Mad Max.
Oh, I was thinking more like actual herders, but yeah, let's go.
Too, I suppose.
Scrappy
Max.
nerf herders.
I don't know. They kind of. I don't know. That's what came to my mind. I
So
don't even
these
know why.
Earth herders are.
It's these assholes right here.
Yep.
And he's running.
And he's so you
running.
got
Mouthing something.
Miss Sally is looking out a vid window and she sees him on his way back, like just booking it. And she says he's not alone, and basically a whole bunch of these things are chasing him.
Bravo, I did
And-
not remember her name at all.
Miss Sally, yeah.
You could have called her Susan, and I would have been like, all right.
Miss Susan.
Susie Q.
Susie Q. You okay over there?
I just heard something outside.
Oh.
It's the 5-0.
Hey, somebody's in there talking about reboot. Hands up.
No, it sounded like thunder, but it's not thunder. It might have been aircraft. I have an airport that's like 2
Maybe
seconds.
it's a GameCube coming down. How would
Hey,
the masses
there's a
react
GameCube
if the
on the
sky
other side of
just
that
went
door.
dark?
Dude, the masses would lose their minds.
Proof
Like-
that we're in a simulation. Incoming
I know.
game.
Well, if I go offline, y'all know why.
What if how would the masses react if suddenly all the machines on Earth came to life and turned murderous?
Well,
All the machines?
Yeah, all the machines, but primarily semi trucks with the Green Goblin's face. on the front of them.
I think we'd be okay.
Like that Treehouse of Horror episode, Attack of the 50-Foot Eyesores, where all the billboards and shit in Springfield come to life and chase people around, and kill them.
Yeah.
I'm referencing something very specific.
Yeah.
I'm referencing the movie Maximum Overdrive. Yeah.
There's also a Simpsons episode called Maximum Homer Drive.
Probably.
That'll be a
there
spoof.
is. It's in season 9.
Yep.
Yeah, and Maximum Overdrive is from, I think, like 1986 or something. So it predates The Simpsons.
Is that a So Bad It's Good movie?
Yes.
There we go.
That actually, like, I would place that above The Room, honestly, as being like the ultimate, like, So Bad It's Good movie.
I need to see this.
Well,
I knew what you were referencing with the stupid, like, monster truck with the Green Goblin face, because that was an actual monster truck.
No, it was a semi-truck.
Or sorry. Oh, it was a semi-truck, right? Not a monster truck. Were any of you ever into monster trucks? And the personality, it was almost like WWE. Like they had like personalities and grudge matches, and it was.
Do you remember back
monster
in like
trucks?
Back in like 1993, there was and there was even a cartoon associated with it.
Patrol.
It was like monster truck. The toys were like monster trucks, but they had like mouths and like teeth, and you could press the back of them, and they would open up. And there was a cartoon based on it. I can't remember what this toy line was called though.
I remember what it was.
Forgot.
Yeah, I had a couple of those.
Whoa! Yeah, I had a couple, and there's a little thing on the back, and you open it, and they've got.
Yeah, you would press the trailer hitch on the back, and it would like lift the body of the monster truck open, and it would have like a mouth with like teeth and tongue.
Sweet AndrAIa will die. Riders on the storm.
I'm going to.
What
is
that?
Talking about the episode? I'm going to look up what that was.
Okay.
Yeah, what was that?
The trucks with mouths.
1993.
So. They're trying to make out what he's saying. They say that he's mouthing something because he's obviously being chased.
Mm-hmm.
And I laughed when this happened. Sorry, you can go ahead.
I actually wrote down, was that an audio miscue? And it's not, because the next line of dialogue, Sally's like, the tracer is trying to tell us something.
Yeah, that's
like, open the ruddy hatch.
Open the ruddy hatch.
Oh, he's Scottish all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Sounded like LadyGlitch was like, open the ruddy hatch.
I tried.
That was good.
When he's in his web surfer mode, he's Scottish. When he's
there you go.
And he's normal, he's Australian.
But then
I found
open the hatch. The captain's like, you heard the man, open the blasted hatch. So they do. And then he kind of just like he hits like his thing on his board, and then he materializes into the board. Mm-hmm. Wait, materializes? He like merges with the board.
Dematerializes.
And then he
manages to jump.
He is the board.
Just make it an airlock.
And then into the door, and I love it because like there's
embedded into the door.
Yeah, it's like that's how fast he was booking it.
And I find it funny that
Christopher. Sorry, those monster trucks are called the Attack Pack. It looks like.
Oh yeah, right. Carry on.
Hot Wheels or Monster Jam. Do any of these sound familiar?
Mm-hmm.
Might be Monster Jam.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Monster Jam.
Yeah, like there was a cartoon that went along with it too.
Was there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was.
Can't believe we all remembered this.
He's trying to tell us something.
Jam.
I don't know why I love that so much. This is
well, what I find funny, Sniddler, is that Capacitor has to literally direct his crew to do really simple commands like open the fucking door.
Do it. It's
like that should be a given.
And
then you just see him like rolling his eyes as they all scamper over to try and open the damn thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, he does. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then the surfboard leaves like a gigantic dent,
Mhm.
surfboard-sized dent in the door, and it actually hits a Binum. He's like, "Ow."
Yeah, Hot Wheels Attack Pack.
And we're talking about two different things right now.
Oh yeah, this is definitely it. Hot Wheels Attack Pack. Yeah, these are the exact
how's it
toys that I was
going?
thinking of. Tarantula. Fuck, I used to have this one. Oh, the Dark Claw. It had like the bat wings that opened up. Man,
Yeah.
what a fucking nostalgia bomb.
Right? As soon as you said that, I was like, holy shit. I had these, man.
Okay, I gotta go to Cherry.
I
I gotta go to Cherry Bomb Toys and be like, do you guys have any of these?
There you go. The Attack Pack?
I have nostalgia hard for these things.
Me too.
Driving them around and like their mouths
I can
opening
tell.
I'm going to add this to my shopping list and check my stores down here for you guys.
Listeners, Google like Monster Truck Attack Pack or Hot Wheels Attack Pack. You'll see what the fuck we're talking about.
I found an Angel Fire website dedicated to them.
Oh my
wow.
God. What
Amazing.
year?
What
Good lord.
What is life?
What better place to have a page dedicated to this toy line from 1992 than Angel Fire?
Right.
Like GeoCities. That's the only way that could be topped. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah.
That one was my favorite.
When you opened it, its mouth opened up, but the sides opened like wings.
Yeah. For the audio listeners of this, Google Hot Wheels Attack Pack. If you were alive, then you're in for a treat.
There we go.
Yep. So
wow, I had a lot of these.
Speaking of Attack Pack, we're on a pirate ship that's coated in
and
the
Capacitor
scales
just
of the
gave
dragon.
the orders to open fire.
Yes.
We're entering war once again with the web creatures.
Yep, and if we go down, we'd be going down fighting.
Oh yeah.
And what I find funny is that after Capacitor delivers that line, you can see and hear like just a maniacal laugh at him.
Yeah, I know.
He's weird. He's ready to go down fighting.
Oh, you gotta.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fighting captain.
Also, it should be noted that, like, for whatever reason, Ray Tracer is in like stasis mode or something. He's like he has to heal her.
He has to regenerate.
Regenerate, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that he can do that, but it just takes a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So presumably he's knocked out when he hit the door so fast.
He's out cold, sir.
Yeah. Let's show these brigands what it means to lock swords.
With the crew of the Saucy
Mare.
And they have machine guns.
Yeah, they have turrets. With like vid window targeting systems. It's great.
You'd think.
Yeah. I love that.
It looks like one of those like old arcade games from like, the late 90s. I don't know if you ever heard of GameWorks.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a massive arcade. I used to go to it all the time whenever I would go to Seattle, and it was like games like those, and it was wicked.
Sweet.
Like
the big ones that like move the chair when you're shooting.
Yeah. Or like a fighter jet where you're actually like rotating. Like
Afterburner.
Massive.
That's what that one was.
That's what that one was?
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Around the 9-minute 30-second mark, you see like the really wide-eyed Capacitor.
Yep.
Who's like mad with battle rage or whatever you want to call it. That might
pirate power.
That might be a good. That might be a good good thumbnail there.
Mm-hmm.
Viking Berserker rage.
There you go.
So now we've got the web riders shooting back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming this means attack in whatever language they're speaking because it sounds like an old modem from the 90s. The old dial-up signal.
Screeching at each other. Yeah.
I can't do it with my voice.
That's their language.
As one of you.
Sorry, go on.
Xena, warrior princess.
I was waiting for that. Oh my god. Okay.
Enzo is really pale.
Yeah, he's getting lots of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's kind of like weak, and Princess
Hilarious.
Bula leaves him, and she's like, "You stay, I fight."
She
He's like-
tries
he's
to
like,
walk out the
"Hun-
door.
He's like hunched over his chair, like he's hanging out on Pandora Avenue or something.
Yeah.
Wow. To any of our listeners,
Yeah,
Pandora
it's
Avenue is that side of town. Yeah.
druggies
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
But sorry,
Out in public.
Sniddler, you were saying Bula's like walking away, and
Bula's walking away, and she goes up to the door, and she hits her head on the thing, and then she's like, "Oh!"
and turns sideways.
She ducks and turns sideways to go through it.
But
I
she's
thought that was
lived
so good.
years on this ship, so presumably you'd think she'd. Maybe she was
not a whole lot
distracted
going on up there.
You don't know that.
Well, she just hit her head on a door jamb that was sorry, a lentil.
Maybe
That's,
she was very concerned about AndrAIa, and she was looking
possible.
back fondly, and just
Maybe she's just never been in that.
She shook her
cabin.
head because she
or
she
that
wasn't, I suppose.
she stays in the open air of the deck, the upper deck.
Yeah, maybe that's the guest quarters or something, and she's never had a reason to go there.
Well, if you
Yeah.
take a look, if you look in the background, it looks like a study because there's books. There is a framed picture of Capacitor, which I'm assuming is some kind of a.
That's right too.
Oh, maybe it's the captain's cabin.
Mm-hmm.
I
And,
thought the captain's cabin was always
at the back.
Yeah, by the
at
helm.
the back, like
The stern.
on that other level where usually like the wheel is and stuff, like underneath that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's quarters. Yeah. It usually wasn't under deck. Just from what I've pieced together from TV shows,
Right.
Monkey Island, and like
Yeah. And
media.
poor Frisket's
Like Skyrim,
smoking
you know?
Matrix, and it makes me sad.
There's a
I
mission
know.
in Skyrim where you have to go to onto like some pirate ship and go into the captain's quarters and assassinate the dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
A Dark Brotherhood quest. I
Yeah.
know it well.
Yes.
So there are like machine gun turrets going off like crazy on the Saucy Mare, and the web riders just keep flying right up to the ship and blowing it up with pistols. So it's it's a little embarrassing.
Excuse me.
Wow.
Matt,
hello.
one of the things that happens to me is my allergies make me yawn.
I gotta
I'm
step
bored,
away
people.
for a second.
Oh. Okay.
Uh-oh. Yeah, one of them takes like a sword type thing and tries to slash at the ship.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
He, like attacks like the blue like jelly part.
Mm-hmm.
and what we got? Capacitor turns to Mr. Christopher and says, "Perhaps you would like to go below deck and invite." Wait, what does he say?
Invite Matrix to our little soiree.
That's right.
Yep. And then all of a sudden, here he comes. Later.
And then I think
Excuse me.
Oh, wait, no. Christopher goes downstairs.
he
Like,
falls.
he tumbles down.
He falls down. You see him. He's like, "Woo!"
I always wondered how binomes with their little legs go up and down stairs.
With magic. Magical binome legs.
The magic of mainframe.
Ray Tracer is materialized. He comes back online.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Hang on, what's happening?"
Yeah, he's very
What a way to
dazed.
wake up.
Yeah, there's chaos going all around.
Yeah.
Capacitor's like yelling orders.
Yeah.
And Zoe's stumbling out of the lower deck.
Yep.
And the riders are just slicing up the armor that's on the mare.
Yeah.
I like that like Matrix is barely operable and he's like, okay, gotta help. And he's so much more lethal than everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does he do? He like walks up to an edge where there's like the membraney part of the ship.
Yeah.
After like balancing on some rafters and stuff, he like sticks his gun
Through the armor, yeah.
through the gelatinous like part, and
But not
he
all
yells
the way
like,
through, though.
no, and he yells command line, just the tip, just the tip.
Yeah. Multi-target acquisition.
And again,
Yes,
we
they
see
do.
that like red target thing physically leave the gun and go stick itself to all of these web riders.
I
And at
find
this
that so
point, I'm like,
bizarre.
it's weird, but I'm okay with it. There's
It's
weirder
an
shit.
ideal weapon to have for any hero.
It seems a little OP, a little overpowered. And indeed, the web riders seem to notice that these are landing on them.
Crap.
Yeah,
we're
one of them
targeted.
straight up gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
And you see
Yeah.
like green blood gushing out of the bullet wound. It's
Yeah, and
kind of brutal.
I didn't realize this until now. He can see through the bullets as if they have cameras that are connected to his eyes.
Oh, so they're like Stinger missiles.
Yeah. Or they're like the mysterious camera on Beast Wars sometimes.
Megatron and his crystal ball.
Yeah. But yeah, he's like looking through some of the shots as if he's like looking around through them. And yeah, he's shooting them, he's blowing up their like things, and he hits one in the head. And we know he was looking through the shot because he kind of like steps back after one hits him in the head. And like Christopher said, that one's just, it's implied that it's just straight up dead. Like it's hit right like above the eyes, and he's not moving, and there's just like green fluid trickling out into space.
Yeah.
So he's killing bitches. He's
And
I mean,
unfortunately, at the expense of his own weapon.
You attack me and my own, you're gonna fight back.
This is why the UK was like, nah, bro, we don't want any of this.
Yeah,
Matrix fucking shooting dudes in the head.
Oh, that's a good. LadyGlitch just pointed out at the expense of his own weapon. When he,
because you know it's going to degrade if it goes into the atmosphere of the web, but he sacrificed that point of his gun to perform that action.
He pulls his gun back out, and it's like melted.
Yep, it's almost like he forgot in his state of semi-sobriety from giving energy that,
or didn't care.
Yeah, that's it. He can always get another one. He can make another one.
I don't know where he got that gun.
No, we'll never know.
No, we won't. But I would like to. It's one of ReBoot's great mysteries, isn't it?
I like how his pistol is way more scary and efficient than having like 6 people on machine guns shooting at them.
Yeah. Yeah, they
that dinner mates the scurvy scum slinking off.
Yeah, the crew of the Saucy Mare are like fighting these guys off for like however long, and then Matrix just walks in and like
lazily shoves
ends the battle.
Yeah, sticks his gun in a hole, and then there you go.
Yeah, and he's like, dinner mates, and I'm like, no, you guys didn't do anything. Wait, no, Mr. Norton or Mr.
There was one. I think
one of them got one of them.
Yeah, one of them got one of them, and he was all like, "Oh yeah, check me out," did the thing, and then one bent a barrel,
which
is like a little. It's like a little ways back, and it caused a short
feedback loop. Yeah,
yeah, and then he ended up getting zapped across the room. But he's
that's
okay.
Exactly how real guns work.
He's okay though. I just saw him. He's good. I like Norton.
I use Norton.
Me too.
Nobody puts Norton in the corner. I don't know. I don't know.
So the
I had
writers
to kill Bob Norton because he made a mistake. Now it's time to erase that mistake.
Capacitor acknowledges Enzo, and he's like, "Well done, lad. Bob would be proud."
Oh, punch him right in the feels.
I like it.
Yeah, because it's like, what if Bob ran into these riders as well?
And
what if? Indeed.
What if? And then Matrix is like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Like, man, he just wants to eat a cookie and go to bed." Right?
No cookies for you.
And in the vid window, there's like the herd of those like weird web creatures.
Whales.
Yep.
The McDonald's Moon Man monsters.
And they seem to be the web riders seem to be rallying this herd on a collision course with the Saucy Mare.
Right. Yeah. And then Capacitor's like, Mr. Andrews, put your back into it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But what I
It's-
like
That is
about
sail
this,
away.
what I like about this part, though, is that it really speaks of Capacitor's leadership, because he not only gives Andrew the order to start turning the wheel, but he also jumps in and helps him out.
Yeah.
Because this is a hard turn he has to make, and one binom can't do it on its own, so he goes over and helps him out.
Normally, a strong Enzo would be enough.
Right, but you don't see him.
He's too busy almost falling off the railing.
He's too busy trying to find his...
He's a bit delirious right now.
Yeah, a
Now,
little bit.
there seems to be no
Definitely missing that
gravity
blood.
in the web, so... Oh, excuse me.
Liquid space.
Dust and stuff makes my eyes water, makes me yawn, makes me like sneeze. But they do seem to be affected by gravity in the spaceship they've made.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this impact is going to tear a hole in the armor and therefore make a suction that comes out of it.
No.
How come there's gravity in the Saucy Mare but not outside of it?
Why is there gravity on the USS Enterprise?
Because of gravity drives.
Artificial gravity, yeah.
Yeah. So, sure. So, that's the reason for the Saucy Mare having gravity.
Y'all notice there's a penguin on the...
Yeah, I was gonna say the penguin. It's
the recurring penguin.
Feathers McGraw,
or sorry,
whatever.
Yeah. Well, we originally were like, is that like the Linux?
The Linux penguin. That was my thought too, but it's like, no, it's actually the
Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
Feathers McGraw.
Yeah.
Love it.
Did it show that he was like a what's it called? When somebody illegally like hides away on a ship, a stowaway?
Stowaway, yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Has it showed that he's been on the ship? Or is this...
No, this is the first we've ever seen him in season 3. No, second. I think we saw feathers. I think we saw feathers in Icons.
Didn't you guys see him in Firewall in the game?
Identity Crisis. I remember seeing him in Firewall.
I think.
But I'm pretty sure he was in. He was in
the
Icons.
Might be an additional project.
I am looking it up right now. All right, so on the Reboot wiki, there is actually a Feathers McGraw page, dedicated page.
Gosh, this is an epic fight scene.
He was first seen in the dystopian future of Megaframe, where Dot stumbled across him in a back alley, Identity Crisis Part 2. Mm-hmm. Feathers was seen walking around Mainframe nearly a year later while a web creature was hiding in the city in Trust No One.
Oh, I missed that.
When the city's population was evacuated during the Web War, Feathers was seen with the crowds that were preparing for battle.
We saw
Web Wars. He was seen next in the Desert Port system, in prison with the crew of the Saucy Mare.
Oh, right.
In The Return of the Crimson Binome. And he was last seen on board the Saucy Mare, where he watched one of the pirates be sucked into the web in Web Riders of the Storm. And this is his final appearance. So
he just watched. He just sat there and watched.
With
his cold, dead, beady eyes.
So here's to you, Feathers McGraw. This is the last time we'll see you in Reboot.
Dun, dun, dun.
It was a good penguin.
All right.
Yeah. Presumably, he is okay.
Yes.
Living his best penguin life. So what's happening here? There's a hole in the ship, and it is like space. The atmosphere is being sucked out.
Mm-hmm.
And who is it? Who is getting...
Norton
gets...
sucked out.
Who's the one that Enzo saves?
Andrews.
Because he was on the...
Because he was turning the
wheel. Yeah.
Yep.
I like his that he has an eye patch, but only one eye. But he doesn't need it, like most of the pirates.
And
then suddenly, and I didn't realize this was going to happen. Suddenly, the Web Riders are like in the fucking ship.
One final thing to mention about Feathers McGraw.
Yeah.
The inclusion of Feathers McGraw in ReBoot was an in-joke of the show's visual creators. After his initial appearance, the animators would find the penguin in the model archive and then place him in their scenes. Gavin Blair cautioned against including the penguin again due to copyright issues, saying 1 appearance was okay, 2 was pushy, and 3 was grounds for a lawsuit. After McGraw's final appearance, the producers were sent a very strongly worded message saying, "I want the penguin deleted."
Okay.
Wow.
So Gavin Blair didn't
Wow.
want them to keep using the
And he was right.
and he was right. Yeah.
But if that's all they got, then they're lucky.
Cease and desist.
Yeah.
Right there.
Appropriate.
And a slap on the wrist.
They're like, we milked that character for all he was worth anyway.
Yeah.
It's time to release him back to the wild.
Yeah.
Time to send him to a farm to run and play with all the other claymation penguins.
So
In New Zealand.
the web riders are attacking, and they're quite big, burly.
Yeah, they're
fellows. They got little legs and big round bodies. And Capacitor decides to duel one. He comes to the horrifying realization that his like little stasis stick does nothing against these guys.
Yep.
So it's basically hitting them with like a little. It's like hitting like, a space marine with a literal stick. It's doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like literally, I don't even know why but he keeps at it.
Yep.
Mhm.
He even orders all of his men to repel all the borders. And I'm like, what are they gonna do? Bula could do something. She could smash some heads in, and indeed,
She does.
It does.
literally.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she is like beside herself with glee during this scene.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
lives for this moment.
Yes.
It's my Bula voice.
Yeah,
Enzo gets strangled by a tentacle.
he does.
Yeah.
The
And
one that was fighting Capacitor.
He comes up to him, and
Leaps
the guy
at him.
he leaps at him, but he catches him with his tentacle, and he's kind of
He's just wringing his neck.
Yeah.
Capacitor jumps on his back.
and he's just like, get off him, you beast.
And it's annoying enough that he throws Enzo
Yeah.
to the side. The riders quickly realize that Ray Tracer can be hurt by them smacking his board.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's because they've encountered other web surfers,
riders, yeah. Or surfers.
or they're just smart. I don't know.
I think they just figure it out.
Column A, column B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a kind of a like sobering moment where Ray Tracer like is on the ground hurt, and he just looks around at like them
He just
losing.
shakes his head.
Yeah, he like looks at Enzo, who's like barely keeping on his legs, and like shakes his head in defeat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this sucks.
Are you ready to go down with that ship there, Captain?
And he goes over and he gives his best shot to one of the web riders and knocks his like space marine helmet off. And I was expecting them to be like normal sprites wearing big fat like spacesuits. Like they'd just be like normal sprites. No, they're horrifying aliens that look just as scary as their armor.
I love the way that they animated Matrix in this like 2-second shot, because he just like sobers up and you can just see it.
Oh yeah.
Posture. It's like, what the fuck am I
He
looking
like
at?
inhales and like takes him in.
Yeah. Degraded sprites.
By Gar! Yeah.
By Gar?
That's what the caption says.
Yeah, what's Gar?
It's just by God.
All right,
By Jove.
All right, journalists. What's by Gar mean?
It's like core blimey, basically.
Is it just made up, or is it like?
It's basically just how it sounds with an accent.
So you think it means like by God,
Yeah.
but it's just him saying by Gar.
By
Yeah.
Gar the Savage.
By
Yeah,
Gar the
yeah.
Savage, ruler of Normandy, staker of heads.
Slayer of beasts, claimant of heads.
There we go.
Wow.
We were both going in the same directions with that. By Gar. Like a fighter on Killer Instinct.
Yeah, he's this big, like, muscly dude with like long blonde hair and like a loincloth.
And
With like a big ass like,
or an axe.
Yeah, or that, yeah.
So they're degraded sprites, but I don't know what that means.
I don't know either.
Are we even supposed to know?
If things are degrading in the web, then perhaps they've been exposed to the web, like without armor.
Does that mean these were sprites like Enzo and Dot?
And they devolved over time.
Supposedly.
Or evolved? Adapted?
Yeah.
Were deformed?
Yeah.
They look like monsters.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like spikes on him. Looks like a weird, I don't know how to describe it. Spooky guy.
Looks like he came from the Mos Eisley Cantina.
In the DVD,
yes.
In the DVD copy I have, it says in brackets screeching electronically, but then underneath with quotes, it says disrespect is unwelcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're clearly like self-conscious about their image.
Because he kind of covers his face.
Yeah.
So they were once presumably they were once regular looking sprites like Enzo and AndrAIa.
And indeed, we see some degradation in a future sprite who's been in the web for a while.
Yeah.
So okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Anyways, they're all caught. They're all gathered together.
There's a very silent montage happening of the potential defeat that they're going to experience.
Yep.
You're right, and there's Mr. Norton being hauled back in by one of the web riders, and then they close the chitin, the ship's like armor behind them.
Yeah, these new guys that come in do us the favor of closing that hole.
Did they do that, or is that like a property of the skin?
No, I'm about to.
Or did they heal it? What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yes, because if you pause at 1857, you'll see the two in the back, because their backs are turned to the camera. They're the ones closing up that
They're
opening.
doing something. Okay, so they can mend the flesh of the web creatures.
Yeah.
They can mend and defend it, if you will.
Yeah, and speaking of mending and defending, there's a suspicious-looking web rider wearing badly designed, I think.
I kind of like.
Do you remember Enzo's? Do you remember Enzo's web armor?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Vastly cooler than. It's Bob, by the way. Vastly cooler than Bob's space armor.
Very obvious.
I like Bob's suit. It looks like
I like it a lot.
It looks like it kind of looks like his Guardian uniform that's been melted.
It's fine looking, but Enzo's was way cooler, in my opinion.
I figured that's a thing because Bob can be immune to things like the web because he comes from the supercomputer and he's gone through. But Enzo's
the
not
Medusa
really.
Bug. He was immune too.
But the thing is, Enzo wasn't. He hasn't gone through that kind of training. He wasn't given that kind of stuff. So they had to make him armor rather than him just go out there and risk being like.
And that armor that he wore was specifically made to be armor. I think this is literally just Bob's like Guardian uniform that's like degraded in the web.
Morphed over him.
It's just kind of
I just like the way Enzo's looked more.
But he's got gloves now, which is interesting.
And he's on a kind of rough-looking zip board, which should tip the viewer. The only place we've seen zip boards are systems.
Also, he appears to be leading them.
Mm-hmm. Or at least someone
not just leading,
power.
but the fact that he is... Yeah. Hang on a second, I'm getting back to that clip. But there's when he shows up, not only is it like stand down, these are my friends, but he's standing in a beam of light, and it just looks glorious. And he's just like, oh, this is important. Look at this guy right here in the middle of the screen, who looks different than all the others.
Oh,
Yeah.
when they just first come through, he's like in the middle,
And he's
and
just
then
standing there, and
the
he's just
light
like,
closes
yes.
behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the ship. When he's on the bridge, I thought he was
Very
trying to
majestic.
do a handshake with Enzo, but he's actually just summoning Glitch
Yeah, that's what I thought
back into
too.
his hand.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Glitch goes to him.
Yeah.
And then he puts
puts
it
it on.
on.
So
And it makes this weird slimy sound.
one thing that actually kind of
Mounts
annoys
to
me
his
about
arm.
this whole like sequence is I think the show takes way too long to reveal that it's Bob. Like, it gives you so many like obvious like
kids know,
beat you over the head like clues that this is Bob.
I was thinking that too. Sorry, go on. I'll let you finish.
The show just gives you so many like very like blatantly obvious clues that this is Bob, and they take way too long in my opinion. Like, it gets to the point where it's kind of annoying. It's like, just
I like
fucking
that.
tell us that it's
You
Bob.
know what?
I
think it's well paced, and I like the build up and push towards it. And it doesn't. Now that I'm rewatching it again, it's not that long. It's like a minute and a half.
In your head, you're going, "Is it? It is. It could be. I know that's Bob." And then it's revealed at the very end, and you're like, "It is. It actually is. His hair looks weird, but it is."
I think it should have either been
like a minute and a half.
You know,
I think it should have either been shorter, or the clues should have been a little more subtle,
vague.
Yeah, because
even
when Bob summons Glitch, just by reaching out his hand, you can hear there's a very slow variation melody of the reboot theme when he does that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm actually fine with the pacing of how they did it. I understand for dramatic effect, if he had come in and he told everyone to stand down and then he took his mask off,
right,
it would be so abrupt.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, that impact would have been stronger.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been lenient about certain pacing. For example, the last episode that Christopher and I reviewed on Beast Wars.
Yeah.
It's so corny. It's so cheesy. It turns into Digimon, for Christ's sake. A character is a dragon.
Now I gotta watch it now.
A character's literally a dragon, and if I put aside my like little like hang-ups or whatever, it's just good. It's a joy to behold, and that's how I feel about the pacing with this. Obviously, we know it's Bob. When we were kids, we fucking knew it was Bob.
Oh yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's shaped like Bob. He's on a zip board.
Yep.
Right? Glitch goes to him immediately.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with this cheesy ass like build up, because instead of taking his helmet off and revealing it's him, he just goes downstairs, right?
Yeah.
Attaches the machine
it
to him
no
to
big
give
deal
AndrAIa some
Yep.
of his juice.
And then we go from sad Enzo music in a minor key to a modulation to sparkly wind chimes.
Yeah.
And Enzo kind of knows. He calms Gavin down and he's like, hold up. I think this guy's here to help.
Mm-hmm.
I got ahead of myself. I do like when he goes down there, the only other person being down there is Frisket, right?
Mm.
Yep.
And he starts barking and
I love this
snarling.
part. I do love this.
And it says, screeching electronically, "Oh, hi, Frisket," right? And then Frisket looks confused, and then maybe sniffs the air, realizes it's him. But Frisket never liked Bob anyway.
Yeah,
so he just continues snarling and growling at him.
It's like, oh, wait, oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he kind of just... And he carries on.
Yeah, he just continues snarling, but Bob just walks past him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, whatever.
Shakes his head and like walks past him. I really liked that.
Like same old Frisket.
Yeah.
So even though it's drawn out, little things like that make the scene. Things are still happening in the scene, which is why I'm okay with it. Which is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
I still stand by what I said. Either make it the sequence shorter, or make the clues more subtle.
And
like, it would have been something else if his web armor wasn't the blue on orange, like we remember his Guardian outfit being. Like, if it was just something regular.
Yeah. And the shoulder pads were tan colored.
Yeah.
And you could see that coloration on his.
Yeah.
And you can even see the silver gauntlets.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That
it
he
is like
wore.
his armor
It's literally his guardian uniform that melted.
mutated or melted or grew to give him a thicker protection or something.
Yeah. And
The thing on
it's-
the back of his head, by the way. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. What was the
thing on the back of his head? That's not the back of the armor. It's his hair that like solidified to protect him, and his mask actually only covers his face. I just noticed that because it showed a camera angle from the back of him.
Yeah. His hair's got superpowers.
We are kind of getting a glimpse now how powerful Guardians can be, and what their key tools actually are actually all about. Like in terms of like life force, in terms of mending and defending. But now we're seeing like he could survive the web because he was conditioned to survive the web, and his uniform, even his armor, even adapted. You know,
and he did.
like, and his hair, even like his hair is powerful.
Yeah.
You know, and it's yeah. Go on.
And I like Christopher credit. To give Christopher credit, he like taps his icon, a gold and black icon comes out. But to what Sniddler was saying, to give how powerful Guardians are, the whole mend and defend thing, I'm okay with this slow reveal because things are happening during it. He takes AndrAIa's AI kind of icon and his Guardian icon, and presumably like patches or fixes
the code.
AndrAIa's coding.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild how many things are hidden in this.
And it's all these little things are happening during it. You know, he got Glitch back, and they could have made a conversation. They could have made Bob go, "Oh, hey, can I have that back?" and take it back. But they slowed it down to draw out the drama. And there's not many words being exchanged, and he just silently comes in, talks to Frisket, sits down, heals AndrAIa, and then does the reveal. And I was okay because things are happening. And
it's
I
fair.
think
we don't have to agree about this.
No, I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just telling you as the scene like goes on that I actually don't mind it. And I think Enzo knows. He's just kind of in shock.
And AndrAIa knows exactly who it is right away. She wakes up from being in a coma for however long, and she's like, "Oh, it's you!" And he still has the mask on and everything. So that could be.
Bob. She's like, "Bob, we found you."
Yeah.
Which it's kind of the other way around. He kind of found them.
Yeah. Well, they went to the web, so
they
have
to get to the web.
Yeah.
In a way.
And AndrAIa's fine. They don't need to track down the
beastie.
web creature.
Yeah.
Cool.
Guardian icons apparently heal everything.
I'll give you guys some credit now. Actually, I like the way his helmet comes off.
I do too. Kind of unplugs
from the side. Like handles come out.
I really like Web Bob. I think he looks rad.
I actually prefer. Never mind. I'm not going to go that far ahead yet.
Christopher, the line.
I really like this.
The line, his first line when he takes off his helmet.
Yeah, I love it.
As everyone realizes it's Bob.
Yeah, Bob as voiced by Cheetor.
Yeah. What's the line? What's the line?
What's the line, Christopher?
You can't talk in these things. A callback to one of my favorite episodes, Melzilla.
That's why I let Christopher take the wheel there.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm even kind of fine with Cheetor voicing Bob. I prefer the original guy, but he's fine.
It sounds close, and keep in mind Bob's changed. So in my head, I'm okay with his voice being a little different.
But yes, Sniddler, I think I know what you were getting at when you say you prefer Web Bob to and then you're like, I'm not gonna get that far ahead.
I'm not gonna
something that happens in the
next episode.
Yeah, I never liked the look of Bob in
afterward.
Yeah.
I've accidentally spoiled it for myself. We'll talk about that next week, but I've accidentally found out that I agree with you.
Yeah.
I accidentally saw what you're talking about and I was like, ew. So I like Web Bob better too.
Dun, 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 dun.
Enzo's like, Bob! And he runs at him and he's like, hey, now. Easy, big fella.
You're a little big for that now,
You're
buddy.
a bit big for that now. And everyone laughs.
Web Bob seems more chill.
And as the camera pans out from that, we can actually see that, yes, we were in the captain's quarters, or at least the captain's study, because there's a desk, there's shit on the walls, etc.
Yeah.
Shit on the walls.
Smeared all over the place.
There's a bar. There's a bar. That's good.
Okay.
That's going to be our first song. Our first song is going to be Shit on the Walls.
Shit on the walls.
And my stage name will be Gar. By
Gar.
By Gar.
Bygar the Savage.
What was our Bygar the Savage? What was our band name again? Somebody said something, and Aiden was like, "Oh, there we go. That's our."
No, it was something funny that Christopher said, and then I tacked that on.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't even remember.
Oh, I can't remember.
We're gonna have to watch this again and pick it up.
Yeah.
Shit on the Walls is sung by the. Oh, I can't remember. I'll rewatch it and figure it out.
Shit on the Walls by Scatman Siege and the Alphanumeric Band.
Scatman Siege and Bygar the Savage present
Scatman Siege. Wow.
Squeep up.
Scatman Sniddler and the Angry Siege. I'm working on it.
I like Scatman Siege because it's an alliteration.
Yeah.
But I guess Scatman Sniddler is too.
Scanman Siege. And then your second song can be Enter Scanman. Yeah, to reboot.
Enter Scanman.
Enter Scanman.
What the fuck? I think I would prefer Enter Scatman. Yeah, I'm trying to scat it, but I couldn't.
You tried.
I did, and I'm.
The lesson is never try.
I'm trying to think of how to turn Enter Sandman into a reboot-related song, and I can't even come up with anything.
That's why I said Enter Scanman. I couldn't think.
I'm not. I'm not a Metallica person.
Me neither.
I guess.
See, I'm a metalhead, therefore I don't listen to Metallica.
It is in the rule book that he has to hate Metallica.
I don't hate Metallica.
I genuinely am just not a fan. Like, when people tell me how hardcore they are.
Ride the Lightning.
Yeah.
I like a few songs.
Well, I like Kill 'Em All, but that's pretty much it.
The thing about having no identity attached to a genre of music is that I can get away with liking a little bit of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's better for your repertoire, too, to have an appreciation across the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
And,
the music spectrum.
I don't even think of myself as a...
yes, the music spectrum.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay.
I
not the other
started
spectrum.
Conjuring jokes in my head, and I'm like, no, I'm not touching that one.
Moving along.
No, I don't.
The episode.
No, I don't even I consider myself a metalhead anymore because it's just not really part of my identity at this point in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most people when they hit 30 are they don't strongly feel like the biggest chunk of their identity is the music they listen to.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
I don't even listen to a ton of music anymore.
It's weird how some music is like hardcore and has gatekeepers, and then other music they just want to I feel like reggae, they just want everybody to come in, wear the suspenders, and just fucking skank and have a good time. You know what I mean? But when you're a metalhead, what are your favorite bands? What bands do you hate? Let's see what patches you're wearing. Fuck you.
That's become punk. That's the new punk.
Here's the thing about metal. You're a poser unless you listen to the exact same bands that the person you're talking to listens to.
Yeah.
Now, the problem there is this is true for literally every metalhead. So in the eyes of like pretty much every metalhead out there, everyone but them is a fucking poser because they don't listen to and hate on the exact same collection of bands that they do.
You must love the same ones and hate the same ones.
Yep.
And if they are not in sync, thou
You are
art
fucked.
a poser.
Yep. Yeah. No. Metal culture is fucking stupid. Like, I'm just gonna say, as someone who was like really into it when he was younger, it's fucking stupid.
Mhm.
But Scott just wants to have a good time, man.
That's all I
Yeah.
gotta say. I like the music, don't like the culture. I haven't been to a concert in like 5 years now, but like even when I did, like eventually as I started getting older, like I got to a point where like I didn't even like talk to people at shows anymore because I'm like, no, I'm just not gonna. Don't want any part of this. I'm just here to see Amon Amarth live, okay?
Yeah.
You're just here to blow your eardrums out, and then you're gonna go home.
I don't want to make friends with any of you.
No new friends.
Yeah, anyway.
So folks,
Alphanumeric.
any final words before we move on to
The rating system.
anything at all?
All right,
I think our word.
So
we're good.
here on Alphanumeric, we have a 4-tiered rating system that ranges from this is bad, very bad, which is very self-explanatory, to I don't think so, which are episodes that aren't that great, but not the worst thing ever. It's no high code or anything. Next rating up is That Was Easy Enough, which are episodes that are, pretty good. And our fourth, final, and highest rating is Alphanumeric, which is the cream of the crop, the best episodes, top tier, top shelf, upper deck, NBA Jam, reboot.
Captain's quarters.
So let's
pack. Mighty Max.
Biker Mice from Mars.
Hot
Having Wheels Attack Pack.
Having the best control N64 controller in the house where the analog hasn't been worn down.
Yeah. The translucent purple one,
Yeah.
Or the translucent green one that came with Donkey Kong 64. That was the coolest one.
Or you can do the translucent clear one where you can see all the insides.
I had the translucent orange one.
Oh shit.
I still have it, actually. It's actually right there.
Damn.
We got one badass motherfucker right over here.
We do.
I have my Nintendo 64 set up.
Oh shit. This is great audio here right now.
This is not profitable.
No. This is bad, very bad.
Here it is.
Shit.
Hey!
I thought you were grabbing the whole console.
I had to unplug it. I didn't realize it was tucked away.
Very nice.
There it is, folks.
There it is.
Time to wreck your fucking hand playing Mario Party and destroy your controllers.
No,
you know what? Speaking of controllers, I've got my original NESs over here.
Nice. I have an SNES Classic.
Hey.
Me too.
And a PlayStation Classic.
Me too.
That I have hacked to actually have like way more and better games on it. Nice.
I always wrapped my controllers like this.
Okay.
Don't know why.
It
nice.
makes sense. It makes sense to me, anyway.
I don't like wrapping the cords. Anyway, LadyGlitch.
Hi.
Yeah, back to this.
What do you rate the episode?
Oh, Christ. Now I gotta think.
That's not part of being on this show. I mean, we certainly don't.
I was gonna say.
No one thinks here. What is wrong with you?
Blow me down.
Go.
So,
by God.
Not Wacko, Runko.
Okay, LadyGlitch.
I love you guys. You know that, right?
What is the
verdict?
So I really enjoyed this episode from a multitude of standpoints. We do have some obviously, I go for the character development anytime I can see it. And we definitely see that not just in Matrix, but also in Capacitor as well. I did get a really newfound appreciation for the artistic flow for the episode. Is a lot better than the last one that we did, just because it was just like, just like chunks and sections, but everything just seemed way more fluid and a much better watch this time around. And of course, obviously the end, Bob comes back, woohoo. So I'm going to give this a very solid, that was easy enough.
Okay.
All right.
I like it. Make some excellent points. Sniddler, what do you rate in the episode?
I really liked this episode too. I thought it was a lot more enjoyable to watch than, again, as Christina said, the LadyGlitch, rather. Sorry.
Either or is fine. We had this discussion.
Oh, that's true. We did. Yeah, I really enjoyed it for basically the same reason. Character development. You see the pirates kind of like, oh wait, we're not out here trying to make money. We're actually helping people, which is not something pirates are supposed to do. And so it was pretty cool seeing that change in the captain.
Not a lot of altruism in piracy.
No. And then we see a bit of a change in Enzo, where he kind of like comes down off himself for a little while and realizes he has actually been kind of a dick, and it changes his attitude almost entirely. To the point where he's basically bleeding himself dry to keep his girlfriend alive, which is, awesome. So yeah, then we have a whole all-out brawl. It was definitely a lot more exciting than the last episode, like LadyGlitch said. So I'm gonna give this one an alphanumeric.
Oh shit!
I'm surprised.
Which is I'm actually gonna give this one an alphanumeric because I know we talked about like pacing and with the whole like revealing Bob is back. I actually didn't mind myself. I didn't mind how that was done, how that was drawn out. I kind of liked how everything was slowly being revealed, even though it was actually painfully obvious and it felt a little unnecessary. I still kind of feel like we kind of needed that, building the anticipation and happy ending either way. So yeah, I think I'm giving this one an alphanumeric. I think it was a really good episode, and I'm looking forward to next.
All right,
Nice.
NeoCal. What is your rating, good sir? Remember, because of the nature of YouTube, it's my screen configuration that really only matters to the audience.
Over there.
Yeah, Sniddler's over there.
You keep pointing.
LadyGlitch is over there.
LadyGlitch is here.
No, not on Christopher's. LadyGlitch is there.
I know.
Yeah.
On mine too.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Mine's the same as Christopher's. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So part of me, when I'm rating this one, I was like, well, why do I like this one more than the last one? Because the last one had a lot of really cool concepts. The ship was new. Something bad happened to AndrAIa. Ray Tracer and Matrix butt heads again. I'm so done with that. I was done with it the moment that started, to be honest. Doesn't lend anything to the show, I think. And they get to see the web for the first time. So all of this happened, but I was like, why do I have a problem with this? And I felt like it tried to do too much in one episode.
Too much.
Too much. Reboot. And
no.
LadyGlitch had said the pacing of it felt better for her. And I kind of feel that. From the beginning, the point of conflict was in the background, AndrAIa needs help, but the web riders are coming. And that's what the whole episode was about. The web riders are a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like the episode wasn't trying to pack on all of this conflict and these different things all at once. And I like seeing how like mellow and self-aware Enzo was.
Mm-hmm.
And so I appreciate that more because I told you guys that jealous, angry Enzo felt like he had 2 steps forward. Remember the dreamscape he had?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where he had he mellowed out a bit, he started to understand him a bit, and then he like freaks out about like Ray Tracer like hitting on his like girlfriend. It felt like 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing. Felt out of place for me. So him being a little more humble and grateful in this, I enjoyed. And the pacing and the reveal of Bob, I think, was fine. And I think it teeters into alphanumeric for me. I liked this one more, and Bob's back and he looks cool and I like it. It's alphanumeric.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Bob's back. Alphanumeric.
Bob's back. Alphanumeric.
That's
Fuck
all
all.
I'm saying. That's my rating.
I was teetering. I was like, I don't know. So I just stalled. I just talked. That's what I do in real life. I just talk and talk until I can think of something. Bob's back. Alphanumeric. That's the show, folk.
That is the show, actually. That has been the 11th episode of season 3 of ReBoot.
Christopher, did you give your analysis?
He just did.
I did. Bob's back. Alphanumeric.
Okay. I thought you were just saying
short, sweet, simple.
That's what I'm going with. Bob's back.
All right.
Alphanumeric. He looks cool. I like his melted Guardian armor.
I like how he looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys convinced me that it was his melted armor rather than a suit like Enzo was wearing.
We went through the Crayola factory.
Yeah, it was a hot day.
Yeah. left his crayons out on the playground for too long.
Yeah.
On himself.
Yeah.
On himself. Yeah.
He took a
He
nap.
just fell asleep out there.
Coated himself in wax.
Best way to support the show is wherever you're listening to or watching this. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, give it a 5-star rating, anything. Tell your friends about it. If you know other people who like ReBoot outside of the 12 people on Twitter that I mentioned earlier, tell them. Tell them about this show. Get them listening.
There's literally dozens of us.
Get them on board the alphanumeric train because we've still got a lot of ReBoot to cover.
Yes, we do.
Don't quote us on that because we know nothing about trains.
Yeah, we found that one out the hard way, unfortunately.
As we stumbled around trying to describe the parts of a train. It was a bad episode anyway.
Yeah. The worst episode of ReBoot ever. High code. Fight me.
Yeah. I'll die on that hill.
Yeah,
there's
and if you want to fight me, you can find me on Twitter. I'm at Lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. Cal, you are... Where are you on Twitter?
NeoCal. Neo_Cal with a K.
Sniddler. Where are you on Twitter?
I am at AP Sniddler. So yeah, get at me. AP SNIDDLER.
Were you doing like the just do it?
I was doing Roman Reigns' like shotgun arm thing. Yeah.
You were pumping your shotgun arm.
Yeah,
I thought you were pumping
Lady
your
Glitch.
mandible. Yeah.
Where can people find you?
I am on the Twitters at LadyGlitch619.
If you want to follow the show, follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/lasercomb, LAZORCOMB. If you want to hear more Lasercomb content, me and Cal have a weekly show called Too Much Energon, where we do this, but we talk about Beast Wars. My favorite show of all time. I also have a show with my partner called Based On, where we talk about movies based on books and the books that they're based on. We have an episode of that coming up soon about the original vampire novel called Carmilla. I've read about half of it now. It's actually pretty good. It's a very easy read.
Original vampire novel?
Yeah, it predates Bram Stoker's Dracula by 25 years.
Ooh.
It's also about a lesbian romance, which for a book written in the 1800s, that's like, whoa.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe I should check this out.
Yeah, and it's only
I just
think,
like everything vampires.
There you go.
It's and it's only like 140 pages, so it's a
rad.
novella. Yeah.
Yeah.
The book was kind of hard to find. It's usually like everywhere I looked, it was a special order. So keep that in mind. But
okay. Oh,
maybe you can get a Kindle copy or something.
Based on.
Yeah, based on. And if you want to check out any other show that any of us are involved with, just type in Lasercomb to your podcast provider, LAZOR space COMB. They'll all come up. There are 5 shows currently that I produce.
There's another analytical one where Christopher and various guests discuss cartoons at night.
Yep, called Cartoons at Night. About to be a little behind schedule on that one, so if anyone's following along with that, I apologize. I thought it would be very easy to coordinate a show with different people every episode, but it turns out that seems to be weirdly more difficult.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah. Me, Cal, and Sniddler also have another show called War Planets, where we talk about Shadow Raiders. It's a monthly-ish podcast where we binge watch episodes of another mainframe cartoon from the 90s, Shadow Raiders.
Yep.
Binge watch it in episode chunks, multi-episode chunks. So
it's fun. We do laugh. We talk about a lot of things on that show.
We're up to episode
nothing but praise.
We're
up to episode 2 on that so far, where we cover episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8 of Shadow Raiders. It was a lot of fun. It was, I think, some of our best work thus far. So
I really think so. Yeah.
Go and check that out.
Shadow Planets, a War Raiders podcast.
War Raiders, the Viking experience.
Yes. Bring back George Clooney.
Patreon, you can support us for a mere $5 a month. You get access to preamble outtake audio that we record in front of every show that we do. Last week's episode of Alphanumeric, the outtakes in total ended up being about 2 hours. It's probably going to be the same today. So I want to hear that.
Come and listen to our opinions so that you can dislike some of us.
Get to know us as actual people.
Yep, they need to hear us talk about other things in order to dislike certain hosts on the show, namely me.
I got some hot takes that I'm sure people aren't fond of, but
yeah.
We also don't have many Patreon listeners, so who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm anti-space exploration. Who knows? I'm not. I love space, but that's an example.
Maybe he's anti-Space Jam. Who knows?
Maybe I'm anti-Space Jam. If you followed my Twitter, you would know that's the opposite of true. One out of like my 10 posts is about Space Jam.
Wow.
No, two out of my 10 posts are about Space Jam.
The other ones are about ducks.
The others are about birds.
Yeah.
God help us. We will be back next week with the 12th episode of season 3 of ReBoot, Mousetrap.
Woo!
Yeah.
Ooh, I wonder what that could be about.
Mouse trouble? Then you need Mousetrap.
About pest control. Pest control.
Not the board game.
No.
Mousetrap. Man, that thing never worked.
No. So I think that about does it for this week. So we are going to peace out. I've been one of your hosts, Christopher Siege.
I've been another host, AP Sniddler.
I've been another host, LadyGlitch.
And I am another host, NeoCal.
And until next week.
My God!
The dragon.
I'm gonna hit my microphone.
You just can't breathe in these things.
My God! They be
degraded
sprites.
My God, the savage.
Yeah, I don't know. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Bye-bye.
Creation.